Hello, everyone. My name is Jared Yellen, and I'm excited to connect with you for this Project Chiropractic interview. The motivation of each of these interviews is to bring chiropractic to the world. And you might say to yourself, why? And the reason is because millions of people have had their lives transformed by this wonderful profession. And the millions of people that will eventually watch this video are possibly at a point in their lives where they're thinking to themselves, should I consider chiropractic? What is chiropractic? And our goal with this interview series is to bring people to you, just like you, who have experienced a transformation because of this wonderful profession. So that maybe it just opens your eyes to an alternative. Maybe it opens your eyes to a new possibility. And that's the goal of these interviews. So I am honored to be joined by Sophie, who is a current patient with Dr. Vince Hassel from Iowa. And Sophie has an amazing story that she wants to share with you with regards to her chiropractic transformation. So Sophie, thank you so much for joining me for this interview.
Yeah.
Awesome. So just tell me a little bit, if you can think back, what was your life like before going to Dr. Vince's office and experiencing chiropractic care? Like, what was it like? What was a day in the life of Sophie at that point?
Well, some of it was very hard for me because I would have a seizure very often, and they definitely lasted a lot longer than they do now. And without the chiropractor, I was seeing many doctors. Some would, in fact, tell us that I was faking the seizures, and that kind of affected me. And I don't know, once I found Dr. Hassel, a lot of things just changed for me, and it was awesome.
That's great. I'm so happy to hear that. There's so many children and adults out there that they take the path. It could be the medical path, and then they're told that they just have to live with their condition, and that life is very limiting. What were you unable to do when you were faced with the seizures?
Well, there was definitely my friends, and like every other little girl, you want to have a sleepover with your friends, and that was really hard for me because my mom would always have to tell their parents about the seizures, and I was definitely embarrassed about it. And at the time, my seizures were very bad, and
10 to 20.
It was 10 to 20 seizures a night, and it was just very hard for me especially, and have to tell all my friends about it, because basically if you were my friend, you'd see me have a seizure every day, and it was just very difficult. And I'd have one every night when I was at a sleepover, and it was hard for me to watch their parents be scared because they didn't know what to do. And so, yeah, it was just very difficult.
Wow. And what was either you or your parents' belief around chiropractic prior to experiencing Dr. Hassel? Was there any exposure, and if not, what led you to his office?
I'll step in a little bit here, if that's all right.
Sure,
Sophie,
sure.
I'm her mother, and Sophie was having 10 to 20 seizures per day, every day. We had been to neurologists all over the Midwest. We went to a level 4 treatment center in St. Paul, Minnesota, where she registered on the EEG. I think it was close to 70 seizures in one night. She had been told at Mary Greeley in Ames by a neurologist who had epilepsy himself that she was possibly faking it. So we went in the middle of the night up to St. Paul, spent 2 weeks of Sophie being on EEG 24/7. We went to the Mayo Clinic. No one could stop these seizures, and no one could tell us why it was occurring or what was, what we could do other than medication. Lots of medication, $700 a month of medication, not to mention all of the horrible side effects that it was having on my daughter, our daughter. And so I had put out a plea on Facebook, on social media one day, just for someone to help find us some type of specialist that could help Sophie. And a person I didn't know had told us he was making an appointment with Dr. Vince Hassel for us and to be there at 2 o'clock. And I was hesitant. We'd seen a chiropractor before, but it wasn't the same, and I was very skeptical. Her dad was extremely skeptical, and people we talked to didn't think we should go. But then this gentleman texted me and said, "You need to get over there. He's waiting for you." And I was in a financial predicament as well because of the situation, not being able to work as frequently due to Sophie having so many seizures, missing school, all of that. And so they said, "He doesn't care, just get in here." And so we went to Dr. Hassel, and within 2 weeks, he took her off all of her medication completely. He switched to the paleo diet, and started to adjust Sophie every day, sometimes more than once a day in those first 2 weeks. He would come into our homes, and I've never had a physician do that ever, even with another child being in critical condition. I mean, nobody came into our home like that. So Dr. Hassel was great that way. Within 2 weeks, she was having a significant decrease in the seizures. Within 2 months, they removed the full-time aide from Sophie's classroom, removed the couch that was outside her classroom, since she had to have something to lay on, after each seizure. And she wasn't having any more daytime seizures after that 2 months. That was a little over 2 years ago. We still are not having any daytime seizures. We're on no medication whatsoever. She follows a paleo diet, but has birthday cake now and then at birthday parties, that kind of thing. We have some nighttime seizures, but nothing like we were having before. They're strictly in sleep mode. So Sophie can go and do things. She was able to do sports for the first time since 8 years of age. Her first sport was swimming, and she was awesome at it. It opened up a whole new world for us. Previously, we'd be walking in a grocery store. I would turn around to look to see where Sophie was, and Sophie would be on the floor having a seizure, just drop immediately. Those things don't happen anymore. We can take family vacations. We had gone to Hawaii. She had 15 seizures on a hike. She didn't have that after what happened with Dr. Hassel. And so now we go for adjustments once a week, sometimes not even that frequently, but we know we need to do that every single week. But our lives have changed. The quality of life has significantly changed. And we've been, like I said, to Mayo Clinic, the top neurologist in the world, and nothing but medication is what they wanted to do or could tell us. So
you're just giving me the chills, because I know there's so many parents out there that are on the same track that you were once on, and they didn't have a friend on social media reach out and say, you just have to do this. They're just staying on that path, yet everything inside knows that it's not working, and it's not taking their child to the place that that child needs to be, which is living a life of vitality and running around and playing with friends and having sleepovers. And it's so special to hear you share this. Sophie, what is your life like now? What is your life like now that you don't have the seizures during the day? What are you able to now do?
Well, I feel normal. I feel a lot more normal than I did. In fact, um, it's actually just like a relief, kind of, because I'm just so glad I don't have to like be scared of having a seizure somewhere, walking across the street, dropping to the ground and having a seizure in the road.
Or on your bike.
And I don't know, it's just a lot better than it was.
That's so special. You're a courageous young lady. You're going to do amazing things in your life. It's so nice to hear what you're now able to experience and to enjoy your childhood and to extract all the fun and excitement and learning out of it. Sophie, what would you want a parent right now? Maybe they have a child that was experiencing what you were once experiencing. What would you want the parent to know about chiropractic and the experience that you've had?
Well, I would definitely encourage them to give it a shot because even I at first was very skeptical myself, but once I just gave it a shot and I got right in and I started following everything, it changed my life, and I feel like if I didn't do all that, I definitely regret it today. So.
Wow. And Tina, what about you for that parent, being a parent? What would you encourage them to recognize?
I would, if you're having seizures, for instance, or something like that, there have been several circumstances where it's been life-threatening, and we've had to call the ambulance, and I thought that I was going to lose Sophie. And so I would tell you, you know, when I was looking for help, I was really willing to do just about anything, but was skeptical. But for chiropractic, it's really so easy. You go into the office, you get adjusted, and for Sophie and our family, it did change our lives. I don't know how you could turn that opportunity away for your child or your family. And several of my friends have begun to take their children for different reasons, and they're seeing the same type of results for a variety of different issues. So I don't know how you could possibly say no after hearing Sophie's story. I don't.
So special, both of you. So courageous, so wonderful. I appreciate your courage in sharing it. Because, like I said, I know that this video will reach millions of people over time, and I know that there'll be thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of parents who are watching this who see their child struggling, and they're skeptical and they're unsure and they don't know where to go, and they've seen the most brilliant minds in the world, and they've heard about chiropractic in the past, and they weren't sure if that would be right. And this story right here could be their inspiration to give it a shot. And that's the goal with Project Chiropractic. It's about bringing chiropractic to the world because there are so many transformations that have taken place. And what I've always believed is that people truly want what chiropractic is. They just don't even know to call it chiropractic. So that's the goal, just to bridge the gap, just to bring awareness around a profession that is truly transforming lives. So Sophie, you're a beautiful young girl. I hope to stay in touch and hear about all the successes that you achieve in your life. And Tina, you are such a courageous woman, and you should honor yourself and celebrate the beautiful daughter that you and your husband have. So both of you, thank you so much for your time. And for everybody watching, as we always say, together we achieve more.
Thank you.